Portland, home of lots and lots of hipsters. Yeah, I know about stereotypical stuff. I've been stereotyped against as a millennial and as an autistic male that probably won't contribute to society. But anyway, regardless, the Portland Trailblazers were once an expansion team in 1970, trying to serve the northwestern United States because they wanted basketball on the West Coast, but the West Coast doesn't always include California. So anyway, Portland was an expansion team. They even played one of the worst games of NBA history against the Cleveland Cavaliers in their inaugural year 1970. Both teams, as expansion teams, basically shot the bed, and one guy even scored on his own bucket. So anyway, the Portland Trailblazers would actually build smartly through the draft, even though LaRue Martin was picked number one by the 1972 by the Blazers, and he didn't amount to anything. Portland got lucky with their next good draft pick, and that was Bill Walton of the UCLA Bruins as the center, a key piece to everything. A lot of people were like, why would you want a center and all that? We'll talk about that when we talk about the 1984 draft. But anyway, the 1977 Portland Trailblazers put on a clinic and actually beat the Sixers in the NBA Finals to win the title. So it's great to see Portland have a title and all that. Unfortunately, Bill Walton's many injuries by him being tall and being awkward ruined Portland, and they didn't do that well. 1984, they had a coin flip against the Houston Rockets, and they won the coin flip. So they got to choose first in the NBA draft, and they picked Sam Bowie, center for the University of Kentucky. And people were like, him? He missed almost two college seasons because of plantar fasciitis or something in his feet that old ballet dancers get. The second pick went to Houston, who took Hakeem Olajuwon, and the third pick went to Chicago to get MJ. People were like, "Why the heck would you get Sam Bowie? Even if you wanted a center, why didn't they go after Hakeem and all that? Or what about this Michael Jordan guy?" Well, a lot of people speculated on it, but they did this five reasons you can't blame, and you can't blame the Blazers for drafting Sam Bowie. One of them was because lots of teams in the 1960s and 70s had a dominant center. Boston had Bill Russell. Lakers had Wilt Chamberlain. The Bucks had Abdul Jabbar before he went to Los Angeles. Bill Walton for Portland. The center was a key piece. The Sixers even had Moses Malone. Basically, the center was the key piece of a team. Not much anymore, but in 1984, that was the thinking, and Portland needed a center. But a lot of people also played, what about, why didn't they get Hakeem? But I think Houston probably would have gotten mad that Portland went for Hakeem. Olajuwon did play for the University of Houston, and Houston wanted him, or two. A lot of people say, why didn't Houston take Jordan? Because they didn't need Jordan. They had Clyde Drexler. So anyway, yeah, it was weird. And Portland didn't really have room for Michael Jordan because they had Jim Paxson and Clyde Drexler on their team. Oh yeah, Drexler played for Portland. Why did I say Houston for Clyde Drexler? But yeah, Houston could have used him, MJ. But anyway, that would really manifest itself as Sam Bowie did not do anything in his 6 NBA seasons. He basically was nothing. Well, MJ was a star, and so was Hakeem. Portland would rule the day to get rid of like their thoughts about just getting Michael Jordan and waiting for the results to happen. In 1990, though, the Portland Trailblazers got all the way to the finals. They got Kevin Duckworth, Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey, Terry Porter, and a few other people. Portland faced the Detroit Pistons in the finals, but unfortunately, Detroit sunk them on a last-second shot, as I said in the last What If I Did, by Finney Microwave Johnson. So anyway, 1991, Portland thought they had a good chance, but the Lakers stopped them. 92, Portland got themselves back into the NBA Finals to take on the Bulls, take on MJ. But MJ ruined them, especially game one with his 6 3-pointers to sink them. The Blazers did win a couple of games, but the Bulls won on home turf in game 6. Portland would then fall into also rans for most of the 90s. But then they decided, hey, you know what? We need to do much better. Let's get some cast offs and all that. And so Portland did. They got tons of cast-offs from other teams to try to make sure that their team looked good. Cast-offs including David Stoudemire, who they got from the Raptors, Steve Smith from the Hawks, Scottie Pippen from the Bulls, Rasheed Wallace, I think was drafted by them, the Trailblazers. I don't remember, and Arvydas Sabonis at center. But anyway, the Bulls traded away Pippen because, they were getting their team after MJ left. So anyway, Portland looked good. Unfortunately, Portland would have a later thing as being the Jailblazers, not the Trailblazers, because so many of their players got into so much trouble, including David Stoudemire, for trying to pass off marijuana on a flight, even though it's in aluminum foil. And obviously, aluminum foil will give off the detectors. So anyway, so that was harsh. Portland would suffer gratefully, and their teams didn't do that well. And add to the fact that they drafted Greg Oden with the number 1 pick in 2008. Again, they had the number 1 pick, and again they fucked it up. Greg Oden, great play for Ohio State, but all of a sudden he was shit your booty. So anyway, the number 2 pick was Kevin Durant, who went on to a great career. Well, he's still playing. He's just out for the year injured. So anyway, Portland just couldn't get it. But they did draft smartly and picked up Damian Lillard from Weber State, who actually scored a famous buzzer beater in 2014 to send the Rockets to the second round for the first time in 14 years, which was amazing. Portland's had their ups and downs. I mean, Lillard has been a great part of the Trailblazers, and they almost sent Golden State packing in the 2019 playoffs. So anyway, the Portland Trailblazers, I want to do is the 2000 Trailblazers. I talked about those players, those cast-offs. The 2000 Blazers actually had a big 15-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 7 of the Western Final against the LA Lakers. All the Blazers had to do was play smart, make some shots, and take down the Lakers defensively in Los Angeles, of all places. But Portland shit the bed. They couldn't score a bucket to save their lives. And then, of course, Kobe to Shaq with 40 seconds left in the game iced it with that alley-oop. Portland would never recover. As I said, it took them 14 years to finally win a playoff series. So it's the basic what if. The 2000 Blazers against the 2000 Pacers, who won the Eastern Conference. Who would win a title between those two teams? So it's the 56-win Pacers against the 59-win Trailblazers. Portland gets home court because of their winning streak. So many good cast-offs. Can they do it? Game 1 saw them narrowly win 106-103 against the Pacers. 27 from Reggie. 14 from Sam Perkins off the bench. Sam Perkins played for the 2000 Pacers. Wow. Travis Best also came off the bench. Rick Spitz came off the bench. He was still around. Derek McKee. Chris Mullin, the former Golden State superstar. Al Harrington. Well, Jalen Rose would soon be a Toronto Raptor. I would say Antonio Davis. I guess he was a Raptor. No, Antonio Davis was traded from the Pacers to the Raptors for Jonathan Bender. Anyway, the 2000 Jailblazers, 19 from Rasheed, Pippen at 15, Smith at 18, Stoudemire at 10, Sabonis 14. But you also have Brian Grant, Bonzi Wells, Greg Anthony, Jermaine O'Neal, the youngster, Stacey Ogman, Detlef Schrempf playing against his former team. Yikes. In Game 2, it would be the Blazers again, winning 111-101. 22 from Reggie, 21 from Jalen. So yeah, they had a decent bench. The Trailblazers had a decent bench too. 23 from Stoudemire, 18 from Sheed, and 13 from Pippen. Bonzi Wells, 13 points off the bench in 17 minutes. That's pretty good. So Portland is halfway home. Time to go to Indiana. Oh, by the way, Larry Bird is coaching the Pacers, if you must know. And Portland wins at home, 105-89. Amazing. 23 from Sheed, 15 from Bonzi Wells, and 16 minutes off the bench. He was the second highest scorer. They added some new players into the thing. Antonio Harvey, Joe Klein, and Gary Grant. Gary Grant. Sounds like a rock and roller. Well, anyway, the Pacers added new players. Jonathan Bender, the guy that they wanted for Antonio Davis. Sean Tabak, another former Raptor. And Jeff Foster, former Jazz star. So anyway, 20 from Jalen, 14 from Reggie. So yeah, Portland looks like only the Sonics and the Sacramento Kings have had, oh no, and the, who else has had a happy ending? So, oh, the Boston Celtics. Those are the only three franchises to have a happy ending. And the 94 Sonics had to go through multiple rounds, whereas the other two just had to go through one round, the finals. In the end, the Blazers not only win this thing and get a what if, so that 4 out of 16, so that now it's 25%, but they sweep the Pacers, just like the Lakers did in 2000. 22 from Sheed, 16 from Sabonis, 18 from Steve Smith. Steinmeier didn't do that well, but you had a deep bench, Jermaine O'Neal. 23 from Jalen, 18 from Reg, who was terrible from three-pointer. Crozier had 13 points. Rick Smith 11. But in the end, the Pacers just couldn't do it. They fell just like they did in real life, without a whimper. And the Jailblazers actually got themselves a title. Fantastic. Hipsters, smoke on that.